Hey guys, welcome back to the CulePodcast. Welcome back to another video. On today's video, guys, we're going to be talking about Ter Stegen, giving an injury update in regards to the German, how is he feeling, and as well to his future, what is going to be happening with him. Also giving you an injury update in regards to Ferran Torres. Will he be involved in Barcelona's match this weekend? Talking about how we can potentially substitute that replacement if he is absent, and as well talking about potential protests from the players, and as well Barcelona extending their contract, their sponsorship agreement with Spotify. We're going to be talking about all that in today's video. But before I get started on the video, guys, make sure to follow me on all of my social media platforms. Everything is posted down below in the description. Go over there and check me out. That way you guys stay up to date with everything that I do on the channel. And as well, the link to become a member is also posted down below. But as always, guys, let's get started with the video. All right, guys, let's get started with the video and let's talk about Ter Stegen. The first place I do want to be talking about is, the injury update. What is the latest in regards to his injury? And according to Sport, things are going very well with Ter Stegen's recovery. He's recovering well, and according to reports, he is set to return to training out on the pitch and return with the ball in these next upcoming weeks. And so that's going to be very, very exciting for Ter Stegen. And as of right now, there isn't a specific date specified. We don't know when he's going to be returning from that injury, but he's working with experts and reaching that rehabilitation and getting back up to fitness and everything. But when you talk about Ter Stegen returning to the squad and being back, where is he going to be among the squad? What's his role going to be? Now, we know what Hansi Flick and all of us Barcelona fans want. Ter Stegen basically not going to be involved. But at the same time, Ter Stegen, knowing his character, he is going to be making a fuss. He is going to be wanting to play. And how is Hansi Flick and Barcelona going to deal with that relationship? Because according to reports, according to 𝗨𝗘𝗗𝗓𝗗𝗓, Ter Stegen, even though he hasn't made a decision on whether he's going to be leaving or staying at Barcelona, a transfer is no longer ruled out. And so a transfer could be on the cards. And we know how this, after this season ends, it's going to be the World Cup. Ter Stegen is going to be one to be involved in that. And playing minutes, playing regularly after what was a very extensive injury, he's going to need that. And the Nagelsmann, he's not going to be calling up on Ter Stegen if he's been out for over a year with an injury. That's just simply not going to happen. A year of not playing football at the elite level, and especially for World Cup, I'm sorry. I don't think that Germany, they're going to make that move. And so if Ter Stegen doesn't get minutes at Barcelona, which is very, very likely, looking at Joan Garcia is going to be that number one, and 𝗍𝗍 going to be that number two, how is he going to cope with that? The only, I would say, caveat or silver lining for Ter Stegen would be in him replacing 𝗍𝗍 as that number two, and 𝗍𝗍 basically having a tertiary role in the squad. But I don't see that happening, as the leadership and the likability of 𝗍𝗍, especially with his relationship with Hansi Flick, is just really, really good. I have to see how things play, but I just wanted to give you that news in regards to Ter Stegen. And let's see what happens in regards to the German. But talking about injuries, guys, I want to be talking about Ferran, because he will not be involved in Barcelona's match this weekend against Girona. He will miss the match as a precaution due to that discomfort from the small knock that he picked up during the international break in his left hamstring, which isn't great, but good news that Barcelona, they're not going to be taking any risks in regards to his injury, making sure that he's available for the next upcoming matches. At the end of the day, you don't want to be missing these players for extended periods of time. So you don't want to sacrifice him and just have him back for the match against Girona and potentially miss further matches. And so when you're looking at how Barcelona can potentially substitute Ferran Torres, because what's most likely going to happen with Lewandowski also being out, that's going to be Marcus Rashford in that number 9 position. And according to reports, Hansi Flick, he tried Alejandro Balde out on the left wing. And with all these injuries in the front line, Balde would be, the option to replace it. A left back playing in that left wing position, Gerard Martin playing in that left back position. What's most likely going to happen is you're going to see Fermin Lopez and Lamine Yamal start alongside Rashford and Balde in that front line. But then it's going to be bringing off the bench a Tony Fernandez, maybe a Draw, a Bruni Bardghji potentially, as Hansi Flick, he talked about in his press conference. Well, he talked about previously how they're not really fit to play the 90, and it's completely understandable. These guys haven't been, involved in a couple of weeks, and they're not going to be ready to play a full 90. But let's see how Barcelona, they do cope with Ferran's absence. And on top of that, it's going to be exciting to see Balde out there on the left wing. That's a position that he can thrive in, as he is a very, very attacking fullback. But moving on towards some business news, Barcelona announcing that they have officially extended that sponsorship agreement with Spotify to 2030. Now, I'm actually a big fan of this deal with Spotify. You've been seeing Barcelona partner up with very, very famous artists around the globe. Fantastic artists, and Barcelona gaining a lot of revenue. And also to keep in mind is that the naming rights for the Spotify Camp Nou, they remain secure until 2034, and so it will still be called the Spotify Camp Nou and not just like the Camp Nou. But this is absolutely fantastic. Barcelona getting money, and we are also able to have those exclusive kits being sold, a collector's edition, sort of say. And the very, very last piece of news I do want to be discussing with you guys today is in regards to potential protests, because according to a report that I just saw from Deportes Scope, I don't know how reliable that is, but the players, certain players from multiple different teams, they are preparing a protest for this weekend's La Liga matches as a response to the Villarreal versus Barcelona game officially being played in Miami. All the captains, have made the decision to stage a 20 to 30-second sit-in at the start of every match. Now, we've seen opposition to this move. Frank de Jong, he spoke against it. We saw multiple different coaches as well give their opinions about it, and I don't think this is good for football. I know, this would bring a lot of money to Barcelona, but when the schedule is so congested, when there's so many matches being played, the last thing that we need is to have more travel being added. And you lose some of that on authenticity. Villarreal playing at home isn't an advantage to them. And even though, it wouldn't favor for Barcelona, it favors us heavily to play this game in Miami, knowing how there's so many Barcelona fans here. And, me being in Miami as well, it'd be a great opportunity for me to watch Barcelona. But it would set a very bad precedent, and and then you would then see other matches, maybe an El Clasico, maybe some, a Madrid derby, a very historic La Liga clash being in the States. And, what's to stop other leagues from doing that? And then you're going to be seeing players not only play, 60, 70 games a season, but also have, very, very long and grueling flights on top of that, making just everything just so more exhausting. And what we want to do is to see our teams play at the very best, having them compete with everyone available, but with the amount of fixtures, with the amount of games being needed to be played, which is mostly for monetary reasons, it makes things very hard. But guys, let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. What do you guys make of everything I discussed in today's video? Are you guys a fan of the players protesting? What do you guys think of that game being played in Miami? What are your latest thoughts in regards to Ter Stegen? How do you guys think that he's going to be returning to this Barcelona team? Is he going to be making noise? Is his return something that you're excited for? And lastly, how are Barcelona going to line up against Girona with the absence of Ferran Torres? Balde at that left wing, exciting experiment, or a failure waiting to happen? I want to hear your guys' thoughts down below in the comments. And as always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys all in the next video. Peace out, guys.